And joining us now to discuss further how all this could end up costing you more is Madison Mills. She's the senior market reporter for Axios. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Madison.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So let me ask you first about the breaking news tonight. A federal appeals court just ruled that President Trump's global tariffs are unlawful. But that won't overturn them just yet, as you know. It could take months to sort through the Supreme Court. Does this also mean the tariffs on goods valued under $800 are unlawful?
Well, as you so smartly just pointed out, a lot of the tariff rates on these items that are going to be impacted by the turning over of the de minimis exemption, they're tied to the tariff rate of that country. So that's what's going to be really important to figure out. As of this evening, we know that a lower court has ruled that those country-specific tariffs put on by the Trump administration were put in place illegally. So what that tariff rate ends up being long-term will therefore impact these items that are impacted by the turning over of the de minimis exemption. And that's what could really impact, of course, consumers, what that tariff rate number actually looks like, and therefore what fee consumers might end up paying on these items.
And President Trump has signaled that he's going to fight this decision to a higher court. But meanwhile, most consumers don't normally check to see where their package is being shipped from, I would imagine, as to not anger customers. Do you think companies will tell you at checkout if they're passing on a tariff or a fee to you?
Well, it's really interesting. We got a preview of this several months ago when Amazon, it was reported, the company later denied this, but it was reported that Amazon was going to put details about where items were coming from on their website so that consumers could be aware of what items could get more expensive. This came up in a White House press briefing, and then Amazon very quickly came out and said they were not going to do that. And this is part of something that myself and my colleagues have reported on a lot at Axios, which is the Trump administration's form of pay me capitalism, this idea that companies have to make sure that they remain in favor with the administration, especially as tariff policy is continuing to be ironed out, because the risks are very high for them in terms of their finances if the administration is not happy with things that they do. And slapping a sticker on an item that says it's going to be more expensive because of tariffs is certainly something the administration would not favor going forward.
And even if Amazon doesn't make it explicit, I would imagine that some eagle-eyed shoppers might be able to find it in the fine print and check where packages are coming from. Is there any way to filter searches for products that ship from the U.S.?
Well, one thing we do know is that consumers are getting a little bit more specific with where they're shopping. We're seeing sales from companies like Shein and Temu and even Alibaba really dropping since the month of April, because consumers know kind of more off the top of their heads that those are some of the retailers that are going to be most adversely impacted by this reversal of the de minimis exemption. And consumers are right to feel that way, because we've already seen products from those companies soaring in price, some items going up as much as 80% on Shein and Temu. And in response, we've seen consumer shopping at those companies going down. I have a feeling, based on my TikTok algorithms, though, that consumers are going to be very smart about figuring out where they can shop and try to avoid these fees going forward.
So much to look into. Madison Mills, thanks so much from Axios for your perspective.